Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Democracy 3 Africa as Egypt. Democracy 3 Africa is a standalone version of Democracy 3. It is not an expansion or a mod. You can just buy it as is. We're playing as Egypt, definitely one of the hardest countries to play in because it starts with a wicked amount of corruption, very little democracy, and a crippling massive debt, which has been growing. Our deficit is increasing, our debt is increasing, obviously. If we take a look at our expenses, our debt interest is growing. How much we're having to pay in our debt interest is growing up and up and up, partially because our debt is getting bigger, but also because our credit rating goes down, so our interest rates have gone up, which is kind of sucky. But we're still trying to tackle some of the very basic problems we've got going on over here. Corruption is, stability is starting to improve a bit, corruption is starting to go down a bit. The democratic rating of our country is basically still nil, but as stability and corruption starts to improve, then democracy will as well. And one of the biggest things that is going to prevent us from being reelected continues to be, not military interference, but rather the civil uprising, which once we improve democracy and stability, because right now our current democracy and stability is increasing civil uprisings, which is bad. And yeah, we do have a right of demonstration right now, which is something that we could do. Interestingly enough, currently, because we're basically not allowed to go and protest, right now, it is actively bringing down the civil uprising. If we wanted to improve this, which would boost democracy, it would actually generate more civil uprising, or more importantly, bring it down not that much. Still, improving democracy is one of the things we're going to have to do. And so we'll probably want to fix this at some point. However, right now, even if we change that, I'm not sure that democracy would become non-zero. It's not going to really change until some other things change. I wonder if, should I cut back on military thing? Would eliminate some of the military interference. Would save us a lot of money too, and we are really hurting for that. I think what we're going to do on this turn is we're going to pass more policies that are relatively cheap and may help us, for example. Import tariffs does help to compete against the uncompetitive economy and can make us some money, not a whole lot, but it also reduces our international standing, which is not great. We could also start petitioning for foreign aid. Most likely this will upset patriots, but may bring in a little bit more money. We don't know how much it will. Because right now, we are making some money from foreign investments. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Foreign aid? Foreign aid received, which is basically nothing right now. But if we could fix some of the problems in our country, we might start to get more foreign aid. And one of the things that can really help with that is making other countries like us more. So it would be nice if we could do something like that. I don't know, regional integration, tariffs, power block agreement. What else can we do? We need things that are relatively cheap. Human rights oversight, that sounds like a pretty good idea. That probably brings down corruption as well, right? Let's see, it's relatively cheap. Doesn't bring down corruption, but it helps to eliminate religious persecution, which sounds good. It does help to boost democracy, again, over 16 quarters. And right now, democracy is basically still going to be nil with the stability and corruption, but stability and corruption is improving. So I think this is a good idea. Is it going to upset conservatives? And that is bad, since conservatives are a large part of our country, but conservatives still like us a fair bit right now. Thanks to our death penalty and ID cards. Hooray! Listen, we can't keep fixing the country unless we get reelected. So we'll work on that. Can we do something that gives us a little bit more money? Well, I mean, there's a few different ways to do it. Some of these grants cost us money, but might improve our GDP overall, which would be nice. I like technology grants. They're very, very good for improving our education, which we need to boost our economy. But right now, I don't know if we can afford it. We can improve some of the pollution issues by passing something like a car tax. And actually, I think that would be an excellent idea. It'll brace money, which is going to be good, and it'll make fewer people become motorists, or actually decrease their membership overall, which means fewer people using cars, which also car usage. So we directly affect car usage, but having fewer motorists will also improve car usage. Makes environmentalists happy, and also by decreasing car usage and motorist count, it also actually improves the economy. This is a way to improve the economy over here. And hopefully, I don't know how much it's going to upset people, but we do need to make a bit of money. We might pass that and the carbon tax. I don't think we can do the carbon tax right now. We might give that a go. We could raise a lot of money that way. It can hurt certain economical things, but it might not be too bad. Some of these are also tax breaks, right? Grants for microgeneration, which is actually quite cool. Not very expensive. And I don't know if it'll improve the the environment directly. It'll probably make environmentalists happy and might improve our power efficiency. So basically, this is like getting people to install solar panels on top of their houses. Environmentalists get happy. Energy efficiency boost is actually a really good thing, because this means we use less oil, we have, improves GDP, I think, all kinds of different ways. Increases environmentalist income and their membership. Environmentalists still hate me, so I don't know if I want to improve their membership. Does bring down CO2 emissions, helps combat power blackouts, right, which I wasn't thinking about, and directly improves the environment. You know what? We're going to boost this to the max. I should have passed this earlier on. By the way, the creator of Democracy 3, Cliff Harris, is actually a big fan of microgeneration himself. He runs some solar panels in this thing. And obviously, any game like this is going to really be indicative of the personal, beliefs and politics of the creator. That being said, I think microgeneration does actually show that you can make money with these solar panels and little personal windmills and things like that. And so encouraging that might be a really good idea. So hopefully, with this new tax, we are going to just bring down the deficit a bit. We're still going to have a deficit, which means our debt's still going to grow, but we'll combat it a little bit with the car tax, and hopefully we're going to make a dent in improving the environment, which is bringing down our health a lot and is not good. We might be able to pass another something somewhere. I like public libraries. They're not that expensive, and they do really dramatically improve education. What else could we do? Youth clubs may reduce street crime, but we don't have any street crime. Organ donation. I like mandatory organ donation. Some people would be upset by this. I don't know why. Free eye tests. Not that expensive, but I don't know. International election observers. Oh, hang on. We're going to pass this. It's free. Doesn't reduce... that's a little bit annoying. Also, it upsets liberals? Really? Do not directly prevent electoral fraud, but record and report in legitimacy can lead to democracy if elections are judged free and huh. Well, I mean, I'm going to pass it because I do want to try to fix the democracy problem. Again, until we get rid of the stability and corruption problems, democracy is not going to be fixed, but I don't know. Hopefully we'll be okay. We should probably take a look at what the threats are. Okay, right now, none of the groups have been radicalized. So these are all the people that represent the different demographics and how many people are in that group and are upset with us. So the Rural Alliance, it's growing. It's at 8.5 billion people. And the threat assessment is going up. And some of these people might start to become radicalized, and they'll try to assassinate me. These are all the things. So my current security effectiveness is useless. So that's disappointing, especially if we're getting rid of the detention without trial. We're not getting that contribution. But there's a few more things that we could add in. I wonder, the freedom of information. This would help to bring down corruption. So we're going to do that. Oh my god, yeah, I should have done that from the start. Basically costs nothing. Continues to annoy state employees because they have to do more work, but helps bring down corruption quite quickly. I should have done this faster. And boost more democracy. Okay. That's really good. And the freedom of information is apparently going to help with security effectiveness somehow. Alright, groovy. Next turn. Ooh, opposition members stage a walkout. Stifling democratic process by the government. I'm trying to fix things! Oh my god, this is gonna bring... They're complaining that we have no democracy. So they're gonna do a thing that brings down democracy and brings down stability some more. You freaking bastards. And we got another credit rating downgrade, which is not gonna be good for our economy. Poverty, I think, is going down a bit. I think education's risen a bit, which is nice. So that's a thing. Some people are starting to become radicalized here. Threat is still pretty low, but our security is still basically non-existent, so that's a bit worrisome. Let's see here. Democracy, basically still 0. Awesome. Corruption, continuing to drop. That's good. Stability. Fuck. That's because the opposition member staged a walkout. That is brutal. Arrgh. I'm trying! People, please! Yeah, this might not work out. What is this? Foreign intelligence interference. Yeah, because our poor stability. Our intelligence service is trying to fight for it. Our deficit did drop a little bit. Okay, in the interest of trying to make more money, I don't know if this is going to be good for our overall economy. But we're going to pass a carbon tax. It's going to make us... Wow! It's going to basically eliminate our deficit completely. Increases energy efficiency. hurts our GDP, and that's the thing. So this will weaken our economy by passing this. But it does help to bring down the CO2 emissions, which is going to help with health, bring up production. I think I'm going to bring the carbon tax down a bit. So maybe, there we go, 25%. It's not going to pay for our entire deficit, but it's going to have a reduced effect on our GDP. So I'm just going to arbitrarily choose this as a decent spot to put it. Also cuts back on air travel, which has a variety of different impacts, but it also helps to eliminate some of our pollution. What is this one here? Revenue Administration. Oh, it's like the IRS or whatever. Okay. What's the informal sector? Untaxed by the government. Ah. Yeah, okay. So, we're going to take another hit to the GDP, but honestly, it can't really go any lower. So, maybe the carbon tax is going to be just fine here. How's our productivity? Starting to go up, which is actually a good sign. Health is probably... Nope, still 0. Awesome. How's the FGM going? It is dropping, but goddamn slowly. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I mean, we've already banned it. And mostly it's probably going to come down to continue to just improve education, for example. And speaking of... Education's starting to tick up a little bit. Alright, that's something. University grants take forever to kick in. They're not the most expensive thing, actually. I mean, they do add up. They also help to combat against the skill shortage. How much can we afford? How much can we afford not to? It does take a long time to kick in. Also directly and instantly starts to drop skill shortages. Alright, I'm going to set it this here. Grants for all. We're going to use the the carbon tax to help fund university education. All right. And competitive economy starting to dip down a little bit, and as our productivity improves, that will help. And health and education are the biggest down draws on productivity, so that's great. And in fact, I think with high education, we can actually flip it the other way around. Also, high education improves technology. All right, we should probably see about boosting technology in a way that doesn't upset too many people. Technology colleges, perhaps. It's not that expensive. More education, more technology. It brings down equality because some people go to college and some people don't. But I think it's one of those things. I think we can't afford to not go max out on this. And maybe we should run it a little bit sooner too. I don't know. I mean, we had to pick and choose what we did. It's not like... I don't think we passed anything that was bad. Ugh. Stability. What's this? Oh, tourism. Yeah, hopefully that stays up because that's boosting our GDP. It's being brought down by a few things, but we're trying to compete with those. Border controls. Yeah, we could... If we drop this... Because right now this is bringing down tourism. If we get rid of this, it'll eliminate the down-drawn tourism. But... also get rid of some of the border tension. Problem is... Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it as is. I don't think that's a helpful thing to spend our political capital on. Is there anything we can do in transportation that might help? Fuel efficiency standards might not be a bad thing. It really doesn't cost us that much. It doesn't really upset people. A lot of these would require us to spend money. Now, having poor infrastructure is really hurting us. I'm going to go ahead and pass the fuel efficiency standards. It's basically free. Helps to drop oil demand and drop CO2 emissions. Increases car usage, which will have an effect on CO2 emissions, but not quite that much. Yeah, it really only upsets capitalists a little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. I mean, we have more capitalists than environmentalists. We don't necessarily need to make environmentalists that happy. I think our number of conservatives have gone up. Yep, we started at 82%. We're now at 89%. Luckily, they still like me a lot, so thank goodness for that. That's the free school meals. Obesity is not great. And we can combat that relatively cheaply. With... what category is it? With a pair of things. Health food subsidies is really good. It makes so healthier foods will be subsidized by the government. So you can get your, I don't know, bananas cheaper or something like that. It's a way to improve health and reduce obesity while also improving poor earnings. And I think it's probably a good one. Yeah, see? Obesity drops pretty dramatically. Health goes up by a fair amount. It will take a while for that to kick in, but it immediately helps poor earnings, which has, you know, good outcomes on our country. Actually, higher poor earnings, I believe. No, not directly. Well, maybe higher poor earnings brings down poverty. No, it doesn't. Really? Trying to bring down homelessness because it would be nice to do that. But then we're pretty much out of political power. I mean, I can pass a few more things, but are they the ones I really need to pass quite quickly? God, there's a lot of important things. A lot of really important things. Community policing is really good, but we don't need it. It's not very expensive and does help to bring down crime, but I don't think it affects civil uprising. I don't know if it's going to affect religious prosecution, which is mostly being brought up by racial tension. Can we kill some of the racial tension? Race Discrimination Act. It's going to upset some people, but it's going to bring down racial tension. It does increase the number of ethnic minorities who come into our country, which has pros and cons. This going up does actually increase racial tension, right? The more races you have, the more racial tensions you have. But we're going to go ahead and head past this because it's a nice thing to do, and it does help to bring down racial tension, which is something that's not good in our country. Okay, let's go to the next turn. Celebrity dies in prison. Urgent policy question that requires your immediate attention. After violating a minor law, popular performers died while being held in prison. Members of the public have taken the streets in protest. Of course, they have, condemning the standard of our prison. We can clamp down on the protesters. Criminals do not deserve the standard of treatment we extend to our law-abiding citizens. Civil unrest will not be tolerated, and riot police will be deployed to disperse the protesters. Okay. Or we can launch an inquiry. Society must be judged by the way we treat or reach its members. Whether someone has committed a crime or not, their basic human rights must be protected. Launch an inquiry into the system's prison system. So I'm willing to bet launch inquiry brings down, might bring down corruption or improve democracy, something like that. Clamp down protesters probably brings down civil unrest directly. And we do need to bring down civil unrest, but I would rather deal with the root cause. I'm going to launch the inquiry. Okay. Crediting ratings CCC. Luckily, it hasn't dropped again, thank goodness. Okay. Let's take a look. How's our democracy? Still 0! How is our corruption? Continuing to drop. Very good. How is the stability? Alright, well, it's no longer 0. This effect, the opposition member stage walkout, is going to decrease over time. So eventually it will go away. And that will be good, because it'll go back to fixing things. Environmentalists are getting happy. There's not a whole lot of environmentalists, though. So that's a thing. Our deficit is still 100 billion. Which, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not very good. Skill shortage is dropping dramatically. And once it does, one of our biggest drops on our GDP is going to go away. Uncompetitive economy still dropping slightly. I don't want to really close our borders to fix that. Pollution, pretty much where it was before. It's because of our poor environment. Yeah. We do still have our oil wealth, which is one of the only things improving our GDP a little bit. GM slowly dropping as our ban is still coming into effect, and ultimately, hopefully, will continue to improve education as well. Foreign intelligence interference still high, border tensions ridiculously high thanks to our poor foreign relations. Is that something we can fix? Well, getting rid of the torture use and getting rid of civil uprising. Torture use is currently bringing down civil uprising by a little bit. I think as soon as the civil uprising goes away, I'm going to get rid of the torture use. But I'm going to leave it in for now. Because I'm an asshole. Poor power blackouts. Yeah. Mostly because of our poor infrastructure. Can we tackle that? Well, with technology, but it's slow. Toll roads. It actually brings up infrastructure. Right, because you're using the toll roads to help pay for that. So that's motorists. Capitalists like it? Right, because capitalists can build the roads and then charge people to use them. Urban people are happy because people in cities don't really care about toll roads. Alright, I'm going to do it. What else can I do for infrastructure? It's this one. It's probably under transport. I mean, I suppose we could just spend more money on road building. Satellite road? Expensive system. Requires transponders. Oh, right. It can pay for itself given time, but for now it's not really good. Oh, subsidized school buses. I'm going to go and do that. Makes people happy. Oh, it just increases bus usage. I was hoping it would improve education. We've already passed it, so I'm gonna leave it there. But I don't think I'll cap it out. I don't know. I guess it's purely good. Maybe I should have... Well, no, I was gonna say it's purely good. I should have maxed it out, but it's gonna cost me more money. Roads. That's toll roads. Road building. It's so expensive, and the change to infrastructure is so slow. But poor infrastructure is really crushing our country here. Drill, baby, drill. I don't want to do petrol tax. It's very easy to overdo it, and then you end up with like weird protests and stuff that are really annoying. Game hunting restrictions. I don't know. I know in some African countries you can get like a endangered animal bonus. Like we have a national wonder bonus, right? Or natural wonder. And some countries have. It's like, it doesn't sound like it should be a good thing. Endangered animals, but it's like, there are endangered animals that exist in the world, but they live where you are, so therefore it boosts tourism. And I think with the game hunting restrictions, it helps with that. I just don't know if Egypt is a country that can get access to that or not. We could improve education some more. Stem cell research, really powerful, but you know what? I'm gonna pass it. We might be able to minimize, oh yeah, religious really get upset by it. F it, let's max it out. Probably should have done it sooner for the boost to health. It does boost technology right away, which is nice. And a very slow boost to GDP. It's a great long-term decision. I'm just worried that we might not get ourselves re-elected. Oh, our religious membership's going up dramatically. Really? Oh, because our weak-ass HDI. Okay. So by the end of it, we're basically going to have 100% religious membership unless we fight it with other things. I'm not concerned about fighting religious membership right now. I may go and pass some things that make religious people a little bit happier. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm out of political capital, so we'll go to the next turn. Feminist plot. For some reason, women are really pissed at my country. I can't imagine why they might be upset about the current state of gender equality and things in our country. Credit rating is downgraded again. That's really bad. Education just took a huge bump up, though. That's great stuff. But this is bad. We're now at double C instead of triple C, which, if we take a look at our expenses, now our debt... we were paying 17 billion per quarter. Now we're paying almost 80 billion per quarter. Because A, our debt's bigger, but also our interest payments are larger. And again, that can quickly spiral out of control. I'm really happy that our education over here is finally starting to tick up. That's going to make a huge, huge difference in our country. Huge difference. FGM still going down. Skill shortage almost gone. It's still going away. And the adult education subsidies still are, they're halfway to kicking in. They got 8 more turns before they're fully kicked in, which is going to help. Plus, we have other things that are still continuing to improve things overall. I suspect skill shortages will go away, given a little bit more time. So, let's take a look at the threat assessment here. We've got actually a lot of threat that is raising, and our current security effectiveness is basically nil. So, we're going to have to go and implement something to help combat this. If we increase the right of demonstration. Oh, here's a question. How's our democracy this turn? Cancel. It's finally going up! Finally, we have enough things. Oh, it probably helped by the celebrity dies in prison choice, right? It was. But more importantly, other things like our corruption finally dropping out. Okay, the fact that democracy is no longer pinned to the floor means I feel like I can take decisions now that are... Oh, hold on, revert. That's not the one I'm trying to change. This one here. Now, things that improve democracy are actually going to make a difference. Because there was just so many negative things bringing it down that it wouldn't help. So this, how close are we to eliminating civil uprising? Oh, it's not happening at all. So let's just give them this. And we're going to start boosting democracy a little bit more directly. And by allowing people to just protest, we should hopefully have them get their outrage out that way instead of these other ways. But still, our security effectiveness is basically null. CCTV. Oh, we can't pass CCTV. How's my political capital going along these ways? Is it time for me to replace my cabinet? They're not the worst. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. I'm really worried about it being assassinated next turn. Do I have a spy agency? That's not it. This is wiretapping. We could boost that. There we go. Intelligence services. Very expensive to boost, though. But it does give me some extra security. Yeah. Police drones, tasers, curfews, CCTV. I think I might go and just shuffle my cabinet. I don't know if we're getting quite as many points as we... it's not too terrible yet. Do I just want to skip to the next turn? I may want to. Wow, you're still taking a long time to kick in. Yeah, we've got a lot of religious persecution. It'll be nice when this goes all the way in. Still slowly boosting democracy. What are we at? We're still in the first quarter. As long as I don't get, like, assassinated next turn, hopefully we'll be okay. Man, that deficit, though. I think we may be a little screwed here. We'll see how it goes. Failed an assassination attempt. Someone did try, but they didn't succeed, which is good. Political relationship downgraded. Ah. Lose GDP, foreign investments, set capitalist. None of that is good. Deficit is still growing, which sucks. How expensive are those CCTVs? Can we really afford to spend more money? Can we afford not to? I'm gonna max out my wiretapping. Then... Oh, and that's it. Shit. Okay, you know what? Let's reshuffle the cabinet. So we're going to hire someone for this. So this is foreign policy. We're looking for people that give me the most political capital and ideally fit the role. So Kareem over here likes foreign policy, is worth 4.3 political capital. Actually boosts women's opinion. Although he'll be brought down. If women are upset, he will become disloyal over time. But he will be boosting women's opinion of me. So hopefully that'll help. Next is our welfare minister. We're going to get Hassam over here. He's pretty good. Economy. So looking for high numbers who also want to work for economy. Right here, 4.3 is pretty good. So we'll do that. And then for taxes, 4.3 tax, 4.4 tax. I mean, there might be better, but, you know, that's okay. We'll go quick. Public services, 4.3. Law and order... All law and order people. Do we only have like one? There's another one here. 2.7. Is that as good as we can get? I think so. May have missed it, but okay. That's not great. And finally, transportation minister. These are 4.1, but not the right category. We could have maybe like shuffled in a different way, and you can sort of optimize. 3.3 and transport. 3.4 and transport. I'll call that good enough. Okay, so we'll get more political capital next turn. Hit next. Hopefully we don't get assassinated. No! No! Damn it! I don't remember if it auto-saves. It's a random chance for the assassination. We could continue. That's after I put in the wiretapping. What did I do on this turn? Did I just reshuffle the cabinet and that was it? That's already been shuffled. I don't know where this autosave is from. Let's just hit next and see what happens again. Alright. I mean, it's possible because it's not the key's not saved. You could sort of save scum and just repeat over and over and over here. But, well, there's Democracy 3 Africa. Egypt, still a ridiculously hard country to play, which I love. Love that it's so hard. Again, if you want an easier word, South Africa was relatively good, because I think, again, balance may have changed, but I'm just going to load it up here. I think they actually started by making money. No, they have a surplus. They have a surplus. They're still in debt, but they're paying it off. They're paying off, well, I don't know, a little bit shy of 10% per quarter. But still, that's going to be amazing. Very, very different kind of game over there. And you can see we get the tourism from the endangered species over here. So as long as you don't let them get killed, then you will always make more tourism. Much easier country. I did beat Egypt once in the pre-release, but man, is it freaking hard. And we'd almost... we're so close to getting rid of those corruption problems. I just want to look at the stats one more time here. Just want to take a... I think it might be auto-saving... Oh, we have Ancient Wonders as well as that. And this is with that one. I don't know, actually don't know if it's the exact same autosave. Something's a little bit wonky. Me loading the autosaves, it's giving me something else. It's like advancing things every time in some weird way. But I just wanted to check. We're not gonna keep going with this game. Look at democracy. Look at democracy. It's getting amazing. How's our stability? It's going up so well. Civil uprisings are dropping. Like, we're so close to fixing the problem. We just had to not die. And I probably should have passed more things to make our security effectiveness not useless. I'm actually curious. We have a lot of things that are quite good here. You know, I guess we could have, like, flipped a few more of these things. We could have done a little bit more like that and seen, you know, if we could improve things. Oh, it still says 0%. I don't know. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching this game, guys. I really enjoy Democracy 3. I certainly really enjoy Democracy 3 Africa as well. It's definitely worth checking out. Lots of replayability, I think, in here. Especially now that, like, Africa feels very different from the baseline Democracy 3. It's also a great game to play with people who are not typically gamers, which is interesting considering the fact that the interface is so crazy here. But it actually becomes very intuitive very quickly. And a lot of people who may not be your typical gamer may actually be very interested in playing this game. So, you know, see if, you know, your friends, your spouses, your family, you could get in this on a group. You can vote on decisions to make. And it's really interesting to see the ethics that start to develop in your gameplay from playing this game. You know, are you going to be a dictator or are you not? I don't know. Maybe I should have been a little bit more dictatorial here. Still doesn't help that I'm going bankrupt. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.